Hey everybody, it's Margot here at My Favorite Quilt Store, and I wanted to show you what the block looks like when it's done. The one thing that you want to make sure when you're making the block is that you have one with the big side going this way, the next one, the big side going that way, big side going from here to there, and then the outside edge. So this is what the block looks like once it is sewn. Then what we need to do is square it up. So all of these blocks will have a little bit of wonkiness to them when they're first made, and then what we do is you square them up, and I square them to 10 inches so so that they are a perfectly square block when you're all done. I square mine up to 10 inches. It depends on your smallest one. They're going to be somewhere between 9.5 and 10.5 inches when you're finished. So what you would need to do is find your smallest block that you can use, and mine was 10 inches on this particular quilt that I'm working on. And so 10 inches is where I need to cut my blocks to, because that's the most I can get out of any of my fabric. So what you want to do is when you're cutting them, you're going to be able to see through your ruler. You want to make sure that you get a little bit of the edge, the outside edge, but that you also have some of the center. So this is actually a 12.5 inch ruler. So here's my 10-inch square. So when these blocks, you're going to cut them to 10 inches. When they're finished, they're going to be 9.5 inch blocks. So we're going to cut them to 10 inches. So here's the one cutting line I'm going to use right now, and this is the other cutting line I'm going to use right now. As you can see, I've got a little bit right here. If you wanted to take it all the way to that edge, because you need it to make the next block, you can. And you know what, just looking at this, I do to get the 10 inches in that I need. So I'm going to take that right to where this intersects right here. I've got this block straight. So I'm going to cut my first two sides, this side and this side. And right now, I'm not having to worry about that I'm on the 10-inch mark because I'm cutting the bigger sides. We're cutting this side first because I have a bigger ruler. A lot of times, I like to square up with the exact ruler, the 10-inch ruler. I just don't have one available, so I'm showing you how to use whatever size that you have. You can't use one that's smaller, but you can always use one that's bigger. So now I'm going to turn the block completely around so that I have my two sides, quarter round, so that I have my two sides that I've cut so I can put them on the straight of grain. So I want to take my two 10-inch lines and put them exactly on the edge of this. So this is one 10-inch line, and here is the other. And I'm going to move it over just slightly to have it be my 10 inches. So then I'm going to cut 1 and 2. If you have a 10-inch ruler and you're able to have a circular cut, then you can actually use your 10-inch ruler. So this is what it looks like when it's all done. You do have a little bit of waste on these blocks, but you will find that it squares up very, very nicely and that you're ready to put it in your quilt once you get these all squared up. So all of them will need to be squared up to be able to be put into the quilt. So you can see that you can line up the blocks right next to each other once they are cut and squared up. So that is how you square up the block once you get the blocks made. So I usually make all the blocks first, and then I go to squaring them up to find out what the best measurement is to square them up at. So I hope that's helped you, and you can see that the blocks are wonky when they in the beginning, but they come out perfect once you square them up. Happy sewing!